A Sprinters Classic in Hamburg yesterday, suitable for the likes of Wout van Aert. Could Johnny Milan survive it? Jasper Philipsen, a very good course for a classic sprinter like him. They added, though, an extra repetition of the Vaserberg to Hamburg's Classic this year, 207.4 kilometers. They do 2 reps of it with like 67, 70 Ks to go, and then another 2 in quick succession in the last 20 kilometers. We had a small break, although there'd been a big fight for it, with Townsend, Jacobs, De Pota, and Oliveira. And we see, I'll run you through how the parkour and the Vaserberg and the circuit works together. Cobbled entry into a very technical, dappled sunlight shaded descent, very steep. Left-hand turn, you're then on the front of the water in Hamburg on a nice day, very narrow. You've got, you don't want to go into the beach unless you want an early dip or an early shower. You've got hedges on the left, then they turn left and they start the Vaserberg. It's 7%, not that steep for a few hundred meters. Then you turn right and then it's really a wall for 300 meters, like 13, 14%. And they do that, they then do a little loop and then do it again 10 Ks later. So of course, even with this rep, 115 Ks to go, the two best teams in positioning in the world, Alpes and a little Trek, they're in position with their whole team because these short climbs, it's a classic. It's like the Belgian classics. I know it's a bit wider maybe than a Timeberg. It's not cobbled, but the better entry position you have, the easier it is. And even riders on the first rep, it looks like a little gap's opening up and it kicks out. If they stretch it on the front and someone drops the wheel in front of you and you're P50, that can be big trouble for you. Quickstep were controlling. They got Paul Magnier here. Very, very good sprinter. Won in Poland. Jasper Philipsen's shape, bit unsure. Wasn't so good recently. He's trying to get in shape for the Vuelta. At Denmark, he wasn't good, but today he was actually good. Teams like UAE, Team Emirates, they do bring a sprinter in Milano. Is it realistic he survives? Probably not. So they do have the attacking options in Kristen, McNulty, and Del Toro. Bora have Mayus, so they have no interest in the race being particularly hard. And you see here, Astana get over the top. They're in good position. They drill it. That really stretches it. But for the breakaway, the advantage of being there in terms of saving energy, even though you have to pedal the whole time in the wind more than the guys in the peloton, is you can do this climb so much slower proportionally than the peloton has to when inevitably guys are attacking. Johnny Milan is dropped surprisingly with 64 Ks to go. His team had been pacing for him earlier in the stage. You can do the climb almost 50%, maybe not 50, but 30% slower. And then, the peloton's having to respond to attacks. We've got a group of Jonas Abrahamsen, Toon Aerts, who's got Deli behind him, Vacek, who's a favorite for this race, one of the strongest all-round riders in the world at the moment, Damien Touzé, Rob Stannard. The problem for them is too many teams missed it. No Quickstep, no Visma, no UAE, no Bora, no Ineos. That needed to be a group of 7 or 8. Quickstep get back to controlling. And so whilst the breakaway would lose, it lost time quickly, but then after the climb, they got back together working really well. And so they'd lose time with the lead-outs, and then after the climb, they'd take it back. On the second last rep, Jacobs goes clear, waits for his teammates, the guys in the breakaway who sort of are his teammates. Vacek attacks, maybe surprising some others. Van Aert can't respond. Del Toro wasn't right there. Abrahamsen's there with Tiller. Bini's responding with good legs. Trentin there with Hirschi. And I was expecting here, I was like, all right, here we go. We've got Abrahamsen in the group with a teammate. We've got Del Toro, who's off the front. Vacek's now closing him. McNulty, he's going to go. McNulty's going to go with Abrahamsen, and it just didn't happen. Van Dijk was there, I think, marking, and Deli was in good position, but isolated. Abrahamsen tries on the right here, but I'm not sure if he was just pulling, because then he just starts pulling because there's no quick men in the group really except for his teammate Rasmus Tiller. But I was really surprised there wasn't a strong counterattack out of that group. And now, like I said, they're running out of domestiques, the sprinters. Like Van Aert's got nobody. Bini's just got Jonas Rouge. Do you really want to burn Jonas Rouge so he can't help you after the climb? And so that's advantage breakaway. Their finish line was the top of this climb to get a good result. They get over the top of the climb. Here she goes. Vacek counters him. Del Toro in the wheel. Magnier. Paul Magnier following Abrahamsen, that's a good wheel to follow who can bring you back into it over the top. Deli also responding well. And again, I thought, big splits. It's decisive. We've got UNOX with numbers, UAE with numbers. I was surprised Vacek wasn't riding with Del Toro, although Abrahamsen would bring him back. And Del Toro, you can see the UAE plan. He's looking, okay, McNulty's going to come from the back. He's going to attack here. Now he's going to attack from behind. Vacek's dangled on the front. Then he looks again. can't see McNulty, can't see him, and he thinks, okay, he must be then attacking on the other side. So without even looking over his right shoulder, Del Toro opens up the gap to his right shoulder because he knew McNulty was going to be attacking through there, and he didn't see him on the left-hand side. So smart from Del Toro. Unfortunately, it was not a good place to attack. Vacek's able to basically use the two corners there to get back into the slipstream of Laurence. Abrahamsen tries, Del Toro's there. She tries again, and still the problem for them was no Bora, no Visma, and also no Alpecin. So Murasa drags it back. We've still got the breakaway ahead, and they're working, but how many domestiques are left? That's what I meant. All the domestiques are cooked from the positioning fight, from having to go over those steep climbs when guys like Vacek are sending it. We've got, after Jonas Ruch's last pull, one Alpecin left to pull. Movistar are there blocking because they've got Oliveira in front. X have Abrahamsen, they're not ready to use him yet. And it's 10 seconds with 3.4Ks to go. That normally should be enough. Here is where the breakaway wins it. The last, I think maybe Van den Bossche pulls off for Alpecin. No other team takes over quickly enough. X don't take over. De Lee has nobody. Philipsen has nobody left. One quick stepper. I think Ubi comes to the front. Visma's got no one for Van Aert. Now, already, Townsend is thinking with 2.5Ks to go, where's the peloton? How am I going to win this race? It's nice to be in a breakaway that might go to the line, but you actually have to win it from the breakaway. He's already thinking, how can I win? Abrahamsen does get to the front. UAE don't have Milano there, so they're not going to pull. And again, they drop the wheel when it's, I think, for Gotera, Decathlon come to the front to start pulling. And so the lack of domestiques from the additional Vaserberg, I think, made this race a lot better this year. It made it harder for the sprinter teams to control. They still could have brought the breakaway back. It was this is one of the closest finishes this year. Townsend hits Jacobs and Oliveira with a very strong sprint with 300 meters to go. Gets up to speed, gets aero. Lawrence Pithy's leading out Danny Van Poppel. Danny Van Poppel launches with Philipsen in the wheel. Manier comes from the barrier on the right-hand side. De Lee is coming with speed, but Townsend wins easily in the end. Wins by over a bike length. The first ever World Tour victory for Q365 from the early breakaway of the day ahead of De Lee, Manier, Philipsen, Van Poppel, Wright, Morgado, Bini, Mathis Louvel, and Wout van Aert. Really, really exciting finish. Here's what he had to say after the race.
When I saw them come, I thought I felt a bit more confident than the two other guys I was with to have the jump on them. So I went early. I have a good sprint usually, and actually after a long day like this, I'm usually quite good with my sprint too. So yeah, I kick with I think it was 400 meters to go. I go as long as I can out the saddle and then just get as aero as possible and try and just hold on to the line. And it was just this, I think you probably saw on my face when I come across the line, it was just disbelief really. So yeah, amazing feeling.
Shame for De Lee because he's back in good shape, but the lack of domestiques, it just made it really exciting into this classic. I think the last 30Ks were must-watch viewing. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you with a recap soon. Ciao, ciao.